Kappa's in front by 2 lengths here from Bacanali. Rangers, Jeff Fruit. King Kappa's in front, F down the outside, but in front near the line, King Kappa. And King
Welcome to this week's edition of the Final Gallop. It is episode 258, and as always is proudly supported by the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group and PlayUp. It's going to be a bit of a shorter than usual episode this week, as we only have a very small team of runners for Ladies Raceday at Eagle Farm on Saturday, but we do have a few to reflect on from last week. Morning, Tony. It's one of those rare weeks where we don't have many runners nominated, but things will quickly change.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of runners this Saturday in town here. We've got nothing interstate, which is makes for a lot quieter weekend. We've got a few horses spread around the provincials.
Yep.
A few at Gatton on Friday, Toowoomba Saturday night, Sunshine Coast Sunday,
yep.
and only a small select team at Eagle Farm. But then I can assure you all next week we certainly heat up. We've obviously got Antino down at Moonee Valley, which I'm sure you'll touch on in a minute. And then we have a big team of runners here at Eagle Farm next weekend.
Okay, first of all, let's look back at Antino, like you mentioned. It was an absolutely gallant second in the Group 1 Touring handicap at Caulfield, going agonisingly close.
Agonising is one way to describe it. It's pretty frustrating.
Yeah.
The riding was on the wall a bit early in the meeting. It was pretty hard to come wide and make up a lot of ground there, and that was probably where we were going to have to come from. We went into the race with a very open mind and an open plan, really. I left up to Blake to ride how the race unfolded, and the first time, and I don't know how many starts, he actually begun really well. He flew the gates, but we had to cop our medicine from that wide draw. We got back, we followed the favourite, but we had to sustain a long run. He got there, he got his nose in front, and fair credit to the winner, who was 3 deep or 2 pairs ahead of us. He kicked back and beat us on the line, but look, I don't think he lost any admirers, the horse. He's done a great job, and he'll head to Moonee Valley now for the Crystal Mile, I'd say, on Cox Plate Day.
Okay.
We're going to resist the temptation to step him out of the Cox Plate. It's obviously a big option, a big ask of him at his first go at 2000. So we'll stick to the mile at Moonee Valley in lesser grade, and hopefully we can get another win on the board with him. Okay,
sounds good. Back here at Eagle Farm last Saturday, we had a fabulous result for the stable with 3 winners: Black Max, Rising Pacific and Osamu.
Yeah, all 3 newcomers to the stable, really. Rising Pacific was really good. He's Aussie bloodstock horse. It's been a real work in progress, and just unreal to see the development in him, the way that he's changed, executing his races. He was dominant, and he can continue to go on that trend, I'm sure. He's a really nice horse. Black Max, newcomer, Peter Howell and the team down there in Melbourne, who I happened to be at the races with when he won. We're all very excited. He was great. His first run, I was a bit worried if I'd win with him, and then he's improved, and he was terrific Saturday, given an 11 out of 10 by Ryan Maloney. I'm sure we're all happy to see him back here in Brisbane. And Osamu, another newcomer of the stable. It's like year change. Owner, give me a bit of advice there and help, which I always take on board. And good ride by CJ Graham. She put him away in the first 100 metres. Very positive, decisive ride, and got the job done. I think we're a bit unlucky with Liquor not to have won as well on the card. So it's a really good day at home here, and as you mentioned, agonisingly close in the Group 1 at Caulfield.
Okay, on to Eagle Farm for this Saturday, where we will preview our 4 runners. The rail will be in the 3 metre position. The track is currently a good 4 with fine days ahead. Last week the winners came from in front off the speed, so it's very much a tempo related thing at Eagle Farm at the moment. Yeah,
track racing great. It's hard to, there's none of these lanes there used to be in, and it's got a beautiful cover of grass on. As I look out here now, we're doing this preview a touch earlier. The sprinklers are on, and the track's getting plenty of water, and it's holding nice moisture. So it's one of the better tracks we race on here in the southeast at the moment, and the team's done a great job keeping it in that shape. So I think we just go into the meeting looking at tempo and horses getting the right run and the best horses in each race.
Okay. We'll start with race 4, which is the Class 3 plate over the 1815 metres. We've got Tenzing, who has just made his way to the door. Perfect timing, 57.5 kilos. Jimmy Orman on board, barrier 6. He's placed in each of his 3 runs from 13.50 out to 18.20. Was huge last start at this track and trip, coming with a long run that just told in the end.
Yeah, he went on him a bit early, Benny Thompson, the other day, and that was self-admitted as well, so I'm not sort of throwing a jockey under the bus there. He admitted that, and that was obvious to see. Ridden with a little bit more timing, he can get the job done. I find this race a pretty interesting race to assess, to be honest. There's a few different form lines coming into it, but he's such a consistent horse. He's often in the market, he's often fancied to win without winning. I'd love to see him get his head in front and win, because I'm sure once he does, he can kick on with it. But he's in great condition. The horse looks magnificent. and he's racing consistently well. He's just got to come with that right timed run.
Okay. Sunset Soiree is another runner we will have in this race. She'll carry 57 kilos. Ben Thompson will ride her. She's drawn barrier 2. Was a winner 3 starts ago over the 1500 metres, and then has just gotten well back in her past 2 all starts also at 1500 metres. Both times she's finished strongly but just couldn't make up the gap. First time past a mile, and you've made a slight gear change with winkers going on.
Winkers have been great in the work. I put a set of blinkers on her in track work a bit earlier in the prep, which was awfully aggressive, so I've just left her naked. She's racing like she wants some headgear, put the winkers on this time, and she's been terrific. Her work's been brilliant. She's very fit, very healthy. I'm not going to lie, when I bought her, I didn't think I'd be running her in a 9 furlong race. I thought she'd be a sprinter, 7 furlong horse, but she's got that big action on her late. She's finishing those races off well without threatening those 1500s. So there's no reason we wouldn't have a go at the 1800. It's a deeper race than probably what I anticipated, but she's a very fit, healthy mare that races well at Eagle Farm.
Third runner we have is I Prefer Minties. She'll carry 54 kilos. Angela Jones on board. Barrier 9. 2 starts ago she did win her maiden at this track and trip with a really big finish. Last start was a complete form reversal. Lost touch with them at the 600 and a complete head scratcher. But you have given her a jump out last week where she went much better with Angela back on.
Yeah, she just about won a 1,000 metre jump out the other day. She's certainly better. She likes Ange on her. I don't know if her and Jimmy Norman's a good rider, as we know, but I don't know whether he gels with this mare at all. Ange seems to get the best out of her, and she always races well at Eagle Farm. I don't think she ever ran a poor race here. She's always ran well here, so this is where we'll run her. She's the lesser in ratings of our 3 horses, but she runs well here, and off that bit of a space between runs with a 1,000 metre jump out in between, I can't see why she wouldn't present, whether she's up to this grade. This is a lot deeper class 3 than what I'd normally see at this time of the year. I'm not going to put any on top out of those 3. Probably the form tells you Tenzing. I guess he's been around in that grade the most, but the other 2 mares could easily improve. I think it's a tricky race. It's one I'll be watching and cheering for our 3.
Okie dokie. Race 10 is the No Metro Wins handicap over 1200 metres. We will have standing order running in this. 57 kilos, Jimmy on board, barrier 15. 2 out of 3 for our stable since coming up from Sydney. Last start with his first start run for this preparation for us, and he led and was never threatened in an impressive return at this track and trip, but he does have a sticky draw second part.
Yeah, he looks great, the horse, but he feels good. I sort of can't fault him. He has got a sticky draw and a bigger field, but we don't know the makeup of this field yet till we get to Saturday morning with, I think, 23 acceptors in the field, so he's 15 to 23. Scratchings could change things, could make things slightly better, could make things morbidly worse, depending on who comes out around us with barriers, etc. So I'm not going to worry too much about it. What I do know is he's going particularly well. So I'll make a decision exactly what we do with him when we get closer. My gut feeling is now that we will run him. Okay. He's going brilliant, really happy with him. It was easy to see in the yard first up that he had improvement in him. He's found improvement, so he's better than what he was first up, and he had a really kind time with it. Even though he won, he led it a canter and he won as he liked. Yeah. I thought he was great, but he can improve off that. He's not a one-trick pony. He's not a lead at all costs. He can posse up anywhere forward of the speed as long as he gets the right run with the right man on board who gels with him really, really well. So I think I want to ride him well no matter where we're drawn, and the horse is in great shape, and I'll cut to the chase. He's my best chance on Saturday in what is a very small team at Eagle Farm.
We're in the final furlong of this week's Final Gallop. Your best winning chances?
Is him.
Is him.
In any order.
Okay, your best each way chance?
I'm not going to worry about it each way. I'll just watch the other 3. So I'll just think. I think the prices are now as we do this show. They were doing it a bit earlier, but I think the market will have him each way value. I'll be disappointed if we weren't, but he'll run very well. Okay.
Your best at the provincials. We've got, like as you mentioned, Gatton Friday, Toowoomba Saturday, and Sunshine Coast on Sunday.
Yeah, I got a bunch of nice horses. Now provincial strike rate has been not too bad, so I think this Toowoomba strike rate's been phenomenal. With horses going up there on Saturday night, but I'd stick with the horse that's been has had a few times I've liked her, and she's kind of agonisingly short as Kaylan's.
Okay.
She's well placed. She'll probably be accepting 2 races, one at Toowoomba and one at Gatton. Go where we think she suits best, but it'd pay to follow our Toowoomba runners Saturday night, what we send up there, and I think Kaylan's wherever she goes. She's probably my best. I like Snowboom on Sunday in a Class 1000 also.
And your best track worker this week?
I say it most weeks, all the ones that are in the weekend work well, and they have. They wouldn't be going to the race if they weren't putrid. They've all gone quite well. But a bit of a blast from the past I thought worked very well. It gives him a bit of a spin around the grass on Tuesday morning. He's ready to trial next week. It's Baller.
Oh.
I love the work of Baller. Him, King Kappa. There's a bunch of the summer horses just starting to get into their action. Bezique starting to get into their stride. They're all ready to trial next week and the week after. And all ready to get back to the races. So there's a few of those to look out for over the next month as our summer carnival team starts to heat up here in Brisbane.
Absolutely, it does. And your performance from the stable for the week?
I had 3 winners in town, and I was awfully happy with just the way that Rising Pacific is progressing, the way that he's improving his racing manners. But I'm not going to go past Antino. Here's my performance. Even though he got beaten, I was awfully proud of the effort that he did, and I love the way he's come through his run on the weekend. I know Matty's super happy with him down there. He's really come on the skin now. So Antino, even in defeat, and I could have picked anyone of our 3 winners here in town. You're my performance of the week, mate. I'm awfully proud of you.
Okay, as we all are. Right, now we're a little bit early for this week's stable special with PlayUp, so please stay tuned to our socials for the offer, which will appear later in the week. Tony, they did give us $4 for Antino to run top 2, so there were some happy punters last week.
I don't know what the stats are, and Lockie might be able to tell us this next week. The man behind the lens here, he's a bit of a stat man. I think we're going all right with these PlayUp specials, so they do pay to follow. I know you get the $50 on them, they do play to follow, so if you haven't, get an account with them, and even if you just play around with the special, I think it's a good bit of fun every week, and you get a good run for your money.
You do. Now it is time for Cav's Corner, which is supported by the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. He went with a win-win multi last week, and both of his legs came second. Liquor and Kuda Tania, he must have felt a little bit
well, we speak about it. I'm pretty sure I said on the show last week it'd be a place multi if I was taking it. I think you can rewind that, anyone, if they want to correct me, sure, but my memory, if it is intact still, which I believe it is, I think I said I would probably place that multi, but go as you please.
He didn't. And
so he didn't. I would have. You would have won.
Anyway, let's see what he's got for us this week and if he can rise from the ashes.
Welcome to Cav's Corner for this week. Last week a little unlucky, but I hope some of you went a place. You would have got a nice little collect. So this week we're going to venture to Gatton on Friday. We're going to go, the girls got this, a win, and we'll venture to Eagle Farm on Saturday, and we'll go I Prefer Minties a place. Good punting, guys.
Okay, so he's gone, the girls got this, a win at Gatton on Friday, into I Prefer Minties a place at Eagle Farm.
Yeah, well, he's got a bit of a point to prove with Minties. He's having a little duel with Mitchie in the office there of her running at Eagle Farm, etc, etc. So there's a bit of a duel there going on. So he's really put his heart and sleeve into that one, heart on his sleeve into that one. And the girl's got this. She was good at Gatton the other day. She's improved off that. She's a lot better mare going into this than she was then. So I don't dislike his first leg. I do find that race of Minties, Tenzing and Sunset Soiree, I find that a really tricky race with a few Southerners, etc. And I think it's a tricky class 3.
Okay, good luck on Saturday, Tony. You may be able to enjoy a long lunch this Saturday with only 2 races to saddle up.
We'll be at the races enjoying what is Ladies' Day. All the ladies get in your frocks and your nice fascinators and your finery and come out and enjoy a good race day at Eagle Farm. I'm sure there's plenty to look at down south. Caulfield Cup Day.
Yeah.
Caulfield Cup Day in Five Diamonds Prelude, so it's not as big a day in Sydney, but Caulfield Cup Day at Caulfield in Melbourne, what a ripper of a day. So it'll be a good day to watch the Southern races and hopefully have a good time at Eagle Farm.
Absolutely. Terrific racing everywhere. Best of luck to everyone.